time to make that change, and we are the people who can do it. Welcome to GoGi at the Dinner Jam. So glad you can make it in. Thank you for pushing past your pain to come in to prepare, produce, and progress. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Settle down, settle down. Love that song. I know you are all standing up, enjoying it, getting in the mood. I love it, I love it, I love it. Thank you. We need some energy up in here. Welcome to GoGi at the Dinner Jam. So glad you can make it in. So we have a jam-packed night, and we have some good things going on. So, yeah, tick-tock, tick-tock. We wait, we wait. It's time to make that change, but, you know, it's like the world is not ready. I'm wondering when the world will get ready. But you ever get ready for a change and then the people around you aren't ready? Well, what do? So you have some options. You can try to force them to get ready. Not advisable, because that can create dissension. Sorry, there's a little noise outside, so. Okay. That can create dissension. I won't be able to stop him. I apologize. After all, change is already preceded by anxiety. This is GoGi and Chain tonight. Chain, can you please? Can you please? Okay. All right. Anybody have a sausage? Okay. After all, change is preceded by anxiety. So if you, on top of that, you try to pressure someone into change, it's going to become a very, very stressful situation. And, you know, you could do other things. You could try to educate them. And if they're open, maybe that will be enough for them to change with you. Or you can busy yourself as you wait. But it's best not to nag, because naggers are often avoided like the plague. In our case, we see the corruption because we're experiencing the assault. We see it, we feel it, we know it to be true. We have to wait for the, as Anna Toledo calls them, the normies to wake up. We have to wait for the normies to stand up. And it blows my entire mind when I talk to normies, which I have several times over the last few days. And guess what? Even an active attorney, I mean, this is a very, politically active and attorney, and he has no idea. They have no idea about the memo that was sent to the alphabet soup from Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, and the other 11 of them. It was 13 of them. No idea that Senator Gary Peters sent a memo also in December, which I'm just finding out. He also sent a memo asking about the watch list, the flaws and inconsistencies of the terrorist watch list. These people, most of our normies, our friends, they don't know this stuff is going on. They have no idea that baby Doe, who's 8 weeks old, is on the list, that the FBI targets board members and Catholics. They don't have any idea of all the things that we talk about each week. And that the FBI agents receive bonus monies since ever since Bush signs this new legislation. They receive this money for padding the list. They don't know. They don't know that there are over 400,000 targeted individuals in handling codes 3 and 4. And when I spoke to my friends over the last few days, I didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or shake them. So I just let my jaw drop. And it's totally jaw-dropping. It's certainly an aha moment. And in H-E double two sticks moment. So, what the HELL 2 sticks. So while we are in the TI community experiencing the smears, experiencing the gang stalking, the V2K, and the do attacks, normies are living their day-to-day lives as usual. So I want to share this quote. And the quote is, or it's a little poem or something. It's the author is unknown. And it says, it didn't start with the gas chambers. It started with the party controlling the mega media. It started with the party controlling the message, the party controlling or deciding the truth. It started with the censoring of speech and controlling the opposition. I guess that would be us. It started with dividing citizens into us and them and calling on their supporters to harass the them. It started when good people turned a blind eye and let it happen. I often wonder if some just refuse to see it. They really do turn a blind eye. It would mean that they would have to change their lives, change their way of thinking. So some know, but they choose to ignore it. Some could care less, and not enough do something about it. Even us, we're experiencing it, and sometimes we don't do enough about it. We don't participate. And there are many opportunities, at least on Tuesday night. There's so many opportunities to participate. So let's not pretend, though, that it's easy or ignore the fact that it's difficult to stand up for what's right when the system and odds are against you. The system and the odds are against the people who will stand up. As we can see from the whistleblowers, they lost their jobs. They lost their homes. They had to move in on couches with their in-laws. And anyone that stands up, some end up, in not here any longer. So many things happen to people that stand up. So it's not that it's easy. We understand that, but we're praying for and expecting and hoping and pushing and manifesting change, people that will stand up and make the change. In the meantime, I guess we'll just whistle while we wait. We'll preserve ourselves, and we're going to hear about that tonight, some things we could do to preserve ourselves and shield ourselves. And we'll prepare ourselves. I did want to do a vision board, and I'm aware that I think Devin did one, so maybe we'll work together and do with her, and I think there's a woman named Maureen as well, to do our vision board, because it really does. If you make a good vision board and you continue to look at it and think about it and improve it, it will come into fruition. So let's produce and progress, and that means let's jam, guys. Let's jam. Let's give the world a chance to catch up with us where we are. Let's give them a chance to find us and set us free, doggone it. And let's remember that God's got this. He is still on the throne. He won't be kicked off the throne. The Bible says if you want to brag about anything, brag about God. Not much else to brag about. As soon as you brag about it, it's gone. So him I could brag about. He's on the throne. He's awesome. He knows everything. He's everywhere. He's all-powerful. He's got this in his hand. And it's not that he created it. The evil ones did. But why it's taking this long? It's in his infinite wisdom that I yield. And so we wait. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Time to make that change. We're excited about the change. In the meantime, here we are. So my question tonight as we open up is, what do you say to a normie to let them understand what the targeting program is about? What would you say to them? How do you explain it? kindly, courteously, and briefly. All right, let's go. Oh, tick-tock, tick-tock. Good evening. Welcome to the J.A.M.
Hello.
Not surprised. Hi, everybody. Hey, I hear somebody, but if we can find that echo, we're going to find the echo and stay open. If we can't find the echo, we're going to have to mute. You know, purpose don't like it, guys. That means we're doing something right. We're doing something right.
Amen.
We're doing something right. It's time to make that change. It's time to make that change. We find you're over.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm closing. I'm muting out.
Oh, that's the person who was muting. Oh, is that the echo person?
No,
right.
now they heard what you said and they got off. The power.
All right.
They had to leave.
That's a beautiful thing. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to GoGi's After Dinner Jam. So glad you could make it in here. And you know the question for the night. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from. And what would you tell a normie to explain the program? Go ahead.
Hi, GoGi. This is Major P.
Hi, GoGi. This is who?
Major P. Can you hear me?
Hi, Major P. I can hear you. Yes, welcome to the
bringing
jam.
that stuff in here. Take that stuff
Fantastic.
out.
Okay, somebody needs to mute.
Put it back where you
Is it Regina? Sound like Regina. Go ahead, Major P.
All right. I would briefly explain to them what this program is all about, and then I would end it with, it's me today, and it can be you tomorrow.
All right,
how I would
now.
explain it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the truth. That should get their attention because that is the absolute truth. Thank you. Thank you for that. Good evening. Welcome to GoGi's After Dinner Jam. So glad you could make it in. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and what would you tell the normies to explain what you're going through?
Hi, GoGi.
Hi.
Hey, this is Tori from New Jersey, and I would tell them to watch the movie called The Lives of Others. It's a German movie. And then I would tell them to watch The Truman Show. And I would tell them that this is like being in an open-air prison.
I read that too, Tori. I read that article. Thank you so much. And those are great movies to reference so that they can get an idea of what's going on. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Welcome to the jam. All right. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from. Hi, go ahead.
This is Jet Cloud from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi,
and
this is Jet Cloud from where? From where?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, go ahead.
I would tell them to visit the website because everything they would need to know is in there.
Okay, thank you. Go to targetedjustice.com, check on all the tabs, and read it. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a great idea. Read it. Really read it. I mean, some of us have subscriptions, so we just get the newsletter and read that. But if you really get on that website and you go through it tab by tab, you'll be full of information. Matter of fact, you may just – I remember I used to do it, and I could only do a little bit at a time because it's so real. You know, it's a lot of reality at one time. So you just take bites wherever you can. Thank you so much, Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the jam. Welcome to the jam. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and answer the question. What would you tell normies to have them understand what you're going through?
This is Tanya, Arkansas.
Hi, Tanya from Arkansas.
Hey, you know what I would tell them?
What?
Look up to the sky.
Mm-hmm. Look up
Pay
to the sky.
attention to the night. Look up to the sky. Pay attention to the night sky. You'll see a whole lot of flying objects.
Oh, yeah.
Look up to the sky.
You know I get it. I get it. Thank you. I get it. Thank you.
Hi,
All
Gorgie.
right. Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. This is Selena Sampson. I'm from Virginia.
Hi, Helena Sampson from Virginia.
I would describe it using government documents for real. I mean, that's kind of how I exposed this to begin with, and I've been being heavily targeted with drones, helicopters, and even hitmen for exposing all of the vaccine stuff and et cetera.
I see. And that's a good point. So you show them government documents, which is so key.
Yeah, like
a lot of them are
documents.
Okay. DARPA's documents. The FBI has documents about the program. There's so much documented information from interviews, other court cases. Absolutely. Because people believe that.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a great idea, Helena.
Yeah, I feel like that's more something that people would listen to over anything else because, you know, that I mean, it's them writing it in their own writing and admitting to it in a document, you know.
Absolutely. Great idea. Thank you for that.
Sure.
All right. Welcome to the J.A.M. Okay, guys, please announce yourself, city and state you're from. What do you tell normies to explain what you're going through?
Amen. Good evening. Guys, this is 20 from the Cadillac City, Niagara Falls, New York. First of all, I would explain to them why I'm explaining to them, because in Ephesians chapter 5 talks about how we have that obligation to expose all the stuff that is in the dark, right? And but I would just simply, you know, being honest is what God expects for us. So I would just be honest with them and try to make it as simple, explain that it is just a government bad program, demonic program that they're using against their own citizens. But then I would take it a step further, GoGi, because the old saying goes, the proof is in the pudding. So at that point, then I would just begin to show them the evidence and the things to prove what I'm saying to them. And then at the end of the day, you know, truth always prevails. And so I would trust God that that person, you know, will understand, and that truth will be shown to that person.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so
Amen.
much. That's
so thank
right.
you for thank you for this. Thank you for this call and all what you do. And I will tell you more than ever, 20. I am ready to produce and to progress. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Sister Samia. We welcome you on board. Welcome to the J.A.M. And thank you for all that you do in the community and the calls that you have. Her calls are listed on tievents.org Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. All right. That's looking.
Oh, we have two more.
Look for the problem solver. A time of intercession with PIs. All right. Someone is talking as if they're just like by themselves, but you're not. You're on the call. Please mute yourself if you need to talk to someone in your home. Thank you. All right. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and answer the question. What do you tell normies when you want to explain the program to them?
Yes, I'm Dale Catherine Duvernay. Living in Charleston, West Virginia, but I'm truly a New Orleanian from Louisiana. What I would tell people, first of all, that we're not living in a normal world today because of what the scriptures are saying about the whole world lying in the power of the wicked one, which is the governments, the political system, the religious system, and the economic system. And they have more clout there pulling strings and unforeseen spirit forces behind this, what's going on today, what is going on today. Fearful sights are going on today. Even though I said I'm experiencing something different than you've experienced before in your lifetime, you never experienced before. And I'm just learning about this, but that does not make it false, because history, time and time again, it proves itself. That doesn't mean it's true. We listened to history a long time ago, so this is up-to-date history, and the scriptures will be fulfilled. Now, I will tell them about my experiences, or my son's experiences, or somebody else that told me about their experiences. Then I'll tell them, if I have some information, to get the tools, and like the Apostle Paul said, see if these things are true by you doing your own research. And just so happened, I did get a chance to talk to somebody that is a health pro. And she said, yeah. I said, do you know about target individual? She said, now check this out. She said, yeah, I kind of a little bit about it. And I told her what I know and what she knows, and she took the information because I was telling about my experiences with myself in the hospital, my son is mentally ill, what he's going through, and some of the movies too, like you were saying, if you have some more movies, because some are visual, like to see things, like, who was that? Show Me, Darlene Thomas. Show Me.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's good. Thank you so much. And I hope when we get ready to do the rally, since you're from New Orleans, for real, then you'll be a part of the committee, because you can certainly share information with us. You can email me at the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me, the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me, and I'd love to have you a part of the committee. All right, but thank you for your input tonight. Welcome to the Jam. Welcome to Godly Pastor Dinner Jam, everybody. Go ahead, Constance. Hi.
Hey, I am in Phoenix, Arizona. I would tell them to go to Amazon and get Godly's book, 10 Ways You May Be a Targeted Individual.
Girl, you get the prize for the best answer tonight. So. I'm kidding. Thank you. I'm going to have to keep you with me, because I don't advertise for myself, but you can advertise for me anytime. Thank you, Constance. Yes, that is one good way. It is GoGi's 10 signs which indicate you are a targeted individual, and it really is 10 signs which say that you are targeted, unfortunately. And it's for people who are not sure and for people who have no idea, and it's a good book to share, if I must say so myself. Thank you so much, Constance, and welcome to the Jam. So glad you could be here tonight.
Hello, this is Cindy in Sacramento, California. This is Cece in Sacramento. Hi, how you doing? I've been targeted for 31 years, plus or minus, and I explain to people that are normies that I mix things. I tell them, I mention the Patriot Act, and I mention the see something, say something, but I also mention the other wars that we've had in our communities, like the war on drugs, the war on poverty, and things like that had failed. And I said the war on terror, being the Patriot Act part of it, the majority of it, is going to be proven to be a failed project. And I mix it with things like the Tuskegee experiment and the experiments on children in hospitals that were disabled. And I explain how illegal some things from the government have been, Guatemala experiment. And that's how I explain what I'm going through.
I see. Thank you so much. That's great. You're taking me through a walk in time, through history, actual factual things. Thank you so much, Cindy.
Yes.
Welcome to the Jam.
Thank you.
All right.
Hello,
All right, everybody. Hi,
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, GoGi. This is Jacqueline in Asheville, North Carolina, but New Jersey. I'm so happy to be able to join the call, and hopefully I'll be able to finish saying before the signal goes down. Or anyway, first I mentioned about targeted justice, but then I also bring films and movies to try to relate that even though it sounds incredible, what's on the website, movies such as Frankenstein, such as the monster was created in the beginning of the movie, and by the end of the movie, the monster and creator were both destroyed, as well as they said the Titanic ship movie, that couldn't happen. But then I says, what happened there? Things that we don't expect, and also the book, Constance said, your book, I bring up The Invisible Crime, written by Michael Bell, to them as well. So I try to give them plenty of documentation, books, as well as movies to try to relate. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I love it. Thank you, Jacqueline. That's right. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I love it. I love the everything that you would give them. Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Welcome to the J.A.M. So glad you could make it in.
Hello. Hi, GoGi.
Okay, I heard two. The hello go first, and hi, GoGi, right after her. Go ahead, hello.
Okay. Hello, GoGi. Hello, Sister GoGi. This is Betty, Alabama.
Hi, Sister Betty, Alabama. How are you?
I'm doing well. What I do is I approach people that are gang stalkers. And tell them that I let them know that I know who they are and what they're doing, and they're going to end up in federal prison. And then professional people and politicians, I send them information directly from targeted justice. And I flood them with information directly from targeted justice. And they can read what it says. So that's how I approach this situation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sister Betty, and welcome to the J.A.M. So glad you are able to be here tonight. Thank you.
Hi, GoGi. Thank you. It's Deborah from New Jersey.
Go ahead. Hi, Deborah.
Hi. So I would tell them that I am being hurt with for 10 years with pulsed directed radio frequency energy, and I would explain what that is. I don't think I would tell them about V2K at that point because that's a little hard to understand. But I would let them know that these are microwaves that are actually harming me, and I'd explain, how it's harming me, and I'd let them know how my life has changed as a result of this, and that when I put my head on the pillow at night, it actually sounds like I'm at an electrical substation. And when I close my eyes, I see pixelations like that of a computer screen. Wow. So I'd let them know that that my life has been changed dramatically, and that I'm fighting this, and that there's a whole group of us that are fighting this, and that none of us are really safe in the world anymore. It's a different world than what I thought it was prior to this. Here. Yeah.
God bless you,
Deborah. And I think I would introduce them to Robert Duncan's video. I'd talk about Robert Duncan, and I'd say Google Robert Duncan and neuroweapons, and maybe be able to educate them on someone who helped create this program and who has the credentials.
Yes, he helped create it, and he regrets it. He regrets how it's being used. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we sure got a visualization of exactly what you're going through. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you at the celebration rally when we win.
You betcha, GoGi, and thank you for all your good work.
Thank you.
Tanya from Australia.
Hi.
Hello. I would say about the children and the babies being electronically raped, tortured, MK Ultra, and being under full mind control. And I would say anybody that takes one dime to this program, they're not going to heaven, that's for sure. They're going to the devil, and that's where they belong, to hurt another human being.
Wow. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Wow, that hit home. All right, guys, welcome to the J.A.M. We'll take one or two more, and then we're going to get ready and get into our program. Anybody else?
Doji.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing? All right.
Okay.
Right on. All right. Well, this is Mr. Craig, and I'm from Houston.
Hey, Craig.
Hi. How you doing? All right.
Glad to hear you.
Out here in West Virginia, something has always kept me from your call. Either somebody stealing the phone right before, or no signal, like just being trapped in little cities and stuff, and I don't know, boxed in. But 42-year-old target, 42 years old. Found out maybe about 3 years ago. Been on the run since. Same people follow me across state lines, all the way from Houston, Florida, all the way back to, and being up here too. So, how I would explain, I don't even, I make people, in a way, I kind of took something from the CDC, and we're going to keep our social distancing, you know what I'm saying? I really don't even want to talk to people because I'm a walking billboard, you know what I'm saying? I walk around with, large objects on me, blocking these huge, all these weapons that, from everybody that's shooting at me. They got teams and agencies that follow me everywhere. So, people, they see what it is, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if I walk in a room and everybody got their phones pointed at me, I know what it is. I'm not going to play stupid, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so there's no need for me trying to tell you what it is because you're on the other side of the program. I just do my job and chill and ignore you, you know what I'm saying? But I see what's going on. So, yeah, I mean, that's.
I got you. Thank you for that. So most of the people that you see are people that are coming at you, so you just shield from them. Welcome to the J.A.M. Craig. Glad you can make it in. Glad you can make it in. Hi. I recognize that voice. Michelle, go ahead.
How you doing, GoGi?
I'm as well as can be expected under the circumstances. How are you?
Oh, I feel that this is the wrong time and the wrong place for these people who are getting paid to hurt American citizens. In 2025, a hotel is opening in outer space. And you could just Google that, hotel in outer space. It's already built. It's already have rooms, already ready to go. Last year, 440 flying cars were sold at $150,000. And this year, they're being sold for $350,000. The flying car is on the market. And there's all kinds of technology coming out, like AI, which the previous generations of people who have been hurt were not able to understand or explain, but we're able to explain it because it's in the media now. The ability to communicate and access a person's biology, that's all on the internet. Previous generations could not explain that because we did not have an internet. We did not have smartphones. The ability to communicate through radio frequencies is well known through things like laser surgery. That's what we're being experimented on for. It's just that we're being experimented with them accessing the biology with further distances. I have a friend who gets hair removal, and that's laser and that's remote. But what we're going through is a further distance. They're able to access our biology at a further distance, and that's what they're experimenting with. The ability to communicate with someone there was a time when my parents would point at somebody, or my father would point, oh, look at them, they're crazy, because they were talking out loud. Now, it's not considered crazy because we have Bluetooth. Everyone's talking in the street and being communicated to with radio frequencies. So anytime I explain this type of technology, people chime in. People have been telling me more about this technology than me telling them. So this is a time to speak up. It's not out of this world that they would have people that they are experimenting on for the technologies that are about to emerge. Everyone knows that the iPhone 50 or 100 is already there, but they're only putting out into the public what they can get profit from. So, the technology slowly is put out into the media, and then everyone is told, you guys discuss this. So everyone's discussing AI now. We don't have a problem saying that we are being experimented on for this type of technology. When I first went online and typed in brain signature, which is what they use and why we went to the neurologist, because the neurologist can read our brain signature, which is a personal brain wave that that is accessed by these technologies. And when I first did it, they said that the government had access to every public citizen and their brain signature. Now when you Google that, Google brain signature, there's a lot more articles out there. They don't have that article anymore. I guess because, we've been writing to the church committee and so forth. That article is not there anymore. So the public is very intelligent and the public is very smart. And when you tell them they can turn the volume up high or they can turn it down low, like there's times that it's really, really low for me. I guess that's a blessing because some people say they never get to experience that. But then they can turn it up really, really high and hurt your complete nervous system, hurt your gums, hurt the bones in your teeth, hurt your reproductive organs or whatever, and try to convince you that you deserve to be treated or mistreated or hurt or harmed. While they do experimentation and map out our humanity in order to make clones, in order to do remote surgery, that's all on the internet, in order to experiment with forms of communication while they go outer space, that's going to come out anytime, within the next 10 years, I guarantee you B2K will be out there. And they will never convince us that we deserve this. No one deserves this. No one deserves this. So
absolutely,
I would encourage everyone to speak up about it because everyone knows about it. In New York, there's a lot of laws. I don't know what these legislators, the direction that they're going in. I think they're being bullied to some extent, some of them. I'm still looking at different things going on in New York, but
yeah, very interesting in New York.
Yeah, different laws in place in New York where it's mandatory to watch videos on harassment, and that's what this is. It's organized stalking and harassment with the use of technology. And the people, the corporations are given random names for them to experiment with this technology, and that is illegal and unlawful. And
Absolutely.
it's interesting that that is a big business, yet the other side of it, the other side of the coin is that they're creating laws to stop it. But they haven't gotten to the microwave part of it yet. But in New York,
they haven't gotten to us yet.
And harassment is illegal. They give you big videos on how to address harassment. So that's how I've gotten my police report, because I told them at work I had to watch. It was mandatory for me to watch these videos, and that some of these companies are serious about investigating some of the things going on. So anytime someone showed up at my job and, out of nowhere, we've never seen that before, I go to the police or I go to the authorities. Of course, a lot of the times we can't report every single thing, but gather as many reports as you can. It's not the world it used to be. We have an internet, and we have the media now bringing out these technologies, and in the next 10 years, I guarantee you, more of these technologies are going to be out on the market. So that's today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Michelle. Absolutely. The world is changing. The world is telling our story, and we are ahead of the curve because we're experiencing it, so we know what to do. We're going to talk about shielding and some other things. So we're going to move into the program. Thank you, hello? Is somebody?
Miss Gus?
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, no, I was going to say, hey, even though I do pass out the flyers, though. I pass out the flyers. It's like split-second marketing because I don't be having time to talk. Pass out the flyers, targeted justice, and the little one line. Yeah, that's the most I can do.
Thank you, Craig. Craig, we appreciate you.
No more free shots. We don't give them no more free shots.
Keep up the good work, Craig. Thank you. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So we're going to move into the next part. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to check the climate, what's going on around the world that impacts our story. Okay? So we're looking. Thank you. I knew I wanted to take time because you guys are the reason that we're here, the reason that I'm here, and so I wanted to take time and really hear from you. So before we got into this, so we have a few items, things that are going on now. This one is so interesting because at first I said, well, is this the pot calling the kettle black for real? The FCC chair? The FCC chair asked automakers about plans to stop abusers from using car electronics to stalk partners. I found this very interesting. So first I said, well, the FCC, the one who licenses all the things that assault us that have to do with the cell towers. But then I also realized that maybe everybody is not aware of what's going on because of the clearance. They have different clearances. Even people in the FBI aren't aware of some things that are going on. But let's hear what she's saying is happening and what the FCC chair is talking about. So it says the top U.S. telecommunications regulator is asking automakers how they plan to protect people from being stalked or harassed by partners who have access to vehicle location and other data. See, we love to have all this smart stuff in our car and all this stuff. This article is from January 11th, and it says out of Detroit, the top telecommunications regulator, she asked them how they plan to stop. In a letter sent Thursday to 9 large automakers, FCC chairwoman Jessica Rosenwasser asked her for details about connected car systems and plans to support people who have been harassed by domestic abusers. No survivor of domestic violence and abuse should have to choose between giving up their car and allowing themselves to be stalked and harmed by those who can access its data and connectivity, she said in a statement. Nearly all new vehicles have convenience features that use telecommunications to find cars in parking lots, start the engine remotely, and even connect with emergency responders, Rosenwasser's letter said. And I apologize if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. These features rely on wireless connectivity and location data that, in the wrong hands, can be used to harm partners in abusive relationships, she wrote. The letter asked automakers for details about their connected services and whether they have policies in place to remove access to connected apps and other features if a request is made by someone who is being abused. Okay, so you're in your car or you're having a problem with your ex and he has access to your data because he has access to the car. So can they remove these apps? And I know sometimes, like in my phone, when I want to take out some apps, they're installed and they don't allow me to remove them, you know. So can you remove these apps that are installed already in these cars is what she's saying. Okay, Rosenwasser asked if the companies remove access even when from someone whose name is on the vehicle's title. So you buy the car together, you're breaking up, now you don't want them to have access to your location, your data, and all this stuff. Will they remove it? And she sent these letters. Letters were sent to top executives at GM, Ford, Honda, Hyundai, Mercedes-Benz, Nissan, Stellantis, I don't even know what that is, Tesla, and Toyota. Similar letters also went to wireless voice providers. Wireless voice providers. Lovely. The commissioner says. Messages were sent Thursday seeking comments from the automakers. The Alliance for Automotive Innovation, a large trade association, said in a statement that misuse of connected vehicle technology to stalk or harass people is not acceptable. The industry is considering how to best broaden federal or state policies and other protections to help prevent these incidents, the statement said. The association has related the issue with regulators. Previously, the group said. Rosenwasser's letter, and I'm going to spell it for you, to automakers, it said it came after a story last week in the New York Times about how connected cars are being weaponized in abusive relationships. Okay, so that means to me, if the letter came or she saw the article in the New York Times and she did something about it, it sounds like a very conscientious leader. And so we need to get a letter to her. And we have so much work to do. This kind of letter writing campaign to those TI-friendly or potentially TI-friendly people in the news, I need a group to do that. I'm going to put that out there. We need somebody to follow up on that because this is the kind of stuff that we miss out on. For example, we did reach out to Roseanne Barr a few times, but we know that she's TI-friendly. We know she's a TI, and she openly admits that, but we really need to reach her. And I know that we also have someone in the community that speaks that can reach her for us, so we need to keep working on that. All right, so that's the first one. And again, I was looking at it as if, FCC, who licensed the planes, licensed, and it has to do with the cell towers, and you're asking for this, but, and she's the top. So does she know that cell towers can be used at night to weaponize if they have, they meet the criteria that we have on targetedjustice.com to be weaponized against us, targeted individuals? So I think she needs a letter. So it'll be an eye-opener if she doesn't know. If she does know, she'll know that we know. All right? So I think that's something that we need to work on. All right, the next article is community control over police surveillance. And that is CCOPS, I think it's called. Let me just get to it. And I had heard about this a while ago, and they have organizations there recommending that you start these organizations to kind of like police the cops. And we definitely, if anybody's going to do it, we would want it to be targeted individuals, not someone else. So community control over police surveillance. So let's look at this. There's a few different portions I want to look at. And it says, for the information you need to start a CCOPS effort in your own city or town, including the CCOPS model bill, you can visit the resource library. Okay, so the increasing use of surveillance technologies by local police across America, especially against communities of color and other unjustly targeted groups, has been creating oppressive and stigmatizing environments in which every community member is treated like an enemy of the state or a prospective criminal. Many communities of color and of low income have been turned into open-air prisons, where residents' public behavior is monitored and scrutinized 24 hours a day. Now, they said their public behavior is monitored and scrutinized. Our public and private behavior. In most cities, decisions to acquire and use spying technologies are made by police departments in secret without any knowledge or input from the public or their elected officials. This process has been condemned by groups across the political spectrum as antithetical to good government transparency and accountability principles. It was against this backdrop that the CCOPS, Community Control Over Police Surveillance campaign, was launched on September 21st, 2016. The effort's principal objective is to pass CCOPS laws that ensure local residents through their city council representatives are empowered to decide if and how surveillance technologies are used, a goal it achieves by maximizing the public's influence over these decisions. Since the campaign's launch, the need for CCOPS laws has grown significantly due to two transformational moments. First, CCOPS gained additional urgency on November 8, 2016, when Donald Trump was elected president, on a platform that included identifying and deporting millions of undocumented immigrants, tracking Muslims, and even more aggressively policing communities of color. CCOPS laws were needed to empower city councils to say no to these increased surveillance efforts and the secret sharing of surveillance data with federal agencies like ICE. The need for CCOPS laws escalated again in 2020 after the death of George Floyd, was as nationwide police defund, divest movements gain momentum. CCOPS laws are critical to ensuring lower-funded police forces simply do not pivot from more costly, racially biased human policing to less costly, racially biased high-tech policing. To date, CCOPS laws have been adopted in 23 jurisdictions from coast to coast, where they serve to protect and empower over 17.7 million people. In 2019, the nation's first municipal ban on the use of facial recognition technology came as a part of CCOPS law in San Francisco. And in 2020, the nation's largest city and police force, the New York City Police Force, adopted a CCOPS law. Governments and police forces should not be able to use surveillance technologies for any purpose without informing and securing the permission of the people they serve. If you don't have that right where you live, you should demand your elected representatives sponsor and adopt a CCOPS law. This website has all the resources you need to start a CCOPS effort in your own city or town, and the ACLU is standing by to help. All right, that would be, I would say, a worthwhile method, effort. Okay. All right, so I wanted to look at something else, too, here with CCOPS, and that is the technology they use to surveil us. I'm going to read a portion of it, and then I'm going to ask Tanya to read the part about stingray. We all hear about stingray. I know when I'm trying to figure out how do the police get into our phone, how do they tap our phones, how do they tap our devices out here, they're using a stingray. So we're going to hear a little bit about how that works. So this is just briefly the proliferation in local police departments' use of surveillance technology, which in most places has occurred without any community input or control, presents significant threats to civil rights and civil liberties that disproportionately impact communities of color and low-income communities. The nationwide community control over police surveillance, that's the CCOPS, efforts is looking to change that through legislation mandating that local communities are given a meaningful opportunity to review and participate in all decisions about if and how surveillance technologies are acquired and used locally. I just say, since the opportunity is there, if you can get involved as a targeted individual, please get involved and speak on behalf of all of us. So here's a list of costly and invasive surveillance technologies that might be recording you, your family, and your neighbors right now. So the list, I'm going to read the list, and I'm going to read some of the list, and we're going to hear about stingrays. So it has stingrays, automatic license plate readers, electronic toll readers or Easy Pass. We know that, and they insist that we buy one. I know in New York they started getting rid of all of the people that would collect the tolls. Those people were losing their jobs. Meanwhile, they make sure that you have this Easy Pass so you can drive on the way through. So you think, okay, it's going to be easier. I'm not going to have to slow down. Traffic's going to be better. Great, I'm going to get this Easy Pass. But it's also a way of them monitoring us. Closed-circuit television cameras, CCTV, video surveillance, biometric surveillance technology, gunshot detection, and location hardware and services. This is called Shot Spotter. X-ray vans, backscatter vans, surveillance-enabled light bulbs, surveillance-capable bulbs or fixtures. That's interesting. I didn't know these light bulbs were surveillance capable. Okay. Now, so we're going to look at stingray a little bit. Tanya, can you read about, let me read the rest of them. Hacking, software and hardware, social media monitoring software, through the wall sensors or radars, TTWS, police body cams, predictive policing software. So these are the things that the police have, that the ACLU is saying they have. We also know that, I hear that they have the weapons. But, all right, so let's hear about the stingrays, Tanya.
All right, I'm ready. Stingrays, also known as cell site simulators or international mobile subscriber identity catchers, the device mimics a cell phone communication tower, causing your cell phone to communicate with it. This communication link gives the stingray the ability to track your location and intercept data from your phone, including voice and typed communications. These devices can disrupt your regular phone service, including making 911 calls. The Hailstorm, the latest version of the Stingray, sells for $169,602 per unit. Operational costs are additional and significant. Whenever a stingray is used to locate a phone, it also collects information about hundreds or thousands of other persons' phones and their users. The technology is often used without a warrant, and judges are often kept in the dark about its capabilities and limitations. It is very difficult to detect when stingrays are being used and to ensure they are not being deployed in a discriminatory manner.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. This is the second time I'm hearing that judges are kept in the dark. So they'll use these stingrays. The judges don't know, just like we don't know exactly what these stingrays can do. And so one of the things they had said before was that the cops and FBI, all these investigators and agencies and so forth would use illegal tactics to gather information, and then they do it backwards, then try to find something to justify it, something that they could say they got the correct way to justify it when indeed they got it the illegal way. So they do it backwards. So this is, and with this, they don't tell them exactly what they do. So they keep these, and I think this is important to note because we wonder why the beat goes on. The beat goes on because of all of these nuances, that they exist and they keep going. So, all right, thank you for that, Tanya. And this is a great article. ACLU is certainly a great resource for us. Anybody interested in the CCOPS, then, we'll certainly support that. That cell site simulator, I want to really look at that a little closer because I was told that sometimes we send, that people can use that against us by when they send, they have these devices, and the device sends a signal straight to the FBI, and the FBI is able to do things with us and our bodies because of these cell site simulators. So that is something that needs to be studied and looked into. All right, I'm going to have one more thing on this, and then we're going to go to a video about nanotechnology. So this is 3 reasons why cops shouldn't snoop in secret. And it's just a did you know question. Did you know that local police can monitor your online activity? They can track your commute and record your every step. This just should not happen. You want to know what I'm doing online? This type of magnified surveillance affects some people more than others. This was the cops launch video prepared in, okay. And so then they have a video. We don't have that video tonight, but if we need to get it, we will. All right, so the video that we have for you is about magnetic nanites or nanotechnology. All right, can we play that video clip or audio clip, please?
They can biocode directed energy attacks that will only go and bioresonate with your body. So that 3 people can be standing right next to you and nobody's going to feel the harassment except you because these signals are biocoded to your body's tuning over.
Wow.
And then they can send out E2K, they can send out any symptom they want because they're in full control of the bioresonance of your bioenergy.
Roger Tolsis is a Los Angeles private investigator who specializes in electronic countermeasures. In the past 30 years, he's swept over 2,500 locations for bugs and wiretaps. In recent years, his business has included helping victims of electronic harassment and mind control.
You coined the term electronic harassment. What is electronic harassment?
Okay, well, electronic harassment is when any person or perpetrator uses an electronic device or groups of electronic devices to either compromise your privacy or to use electronic weapons against you for harm or to control your situation. What's happening now is the black ops and the military and weapons development community want these weapons to be the weapons of choice in future wars. In other words, when we went into Iraq, as an example, they went in and, did the shock and awe. So they blew up the cities, they blew up the bridges, they blew up the infrastructure, and of course then we had to come in after taking the country over and then spend all that money rebuilding their cities and bridges and everything. So what they've done is they've decided that what we want to do is have non-lethal weapons, weapons that can be used against enemies that don't destroy physical things. In other words, not bombs, not bullets, not missiles, but some kind of electronic mind control devices such that you can get mental control over enemies without blowing up infrastructure. So what's happened is though these things were supposed to be developed towards, enemies, they've decided that, in most cases we're going to have to gain the mind control over the general populations that are not warring with us. So what they've done is they put laws in place that allows the Department of Defense and the subcontractors to do mind control experiments on the general population in development of these weapons. So anybody who gets on the bad side of the government could end up being a lab guinea pig.
How is that legal? How can they use tax dollars for, they're going towards these things, and they use them to spy or harass others? How is that?
Title 50, Chapter 32, Section 1528. Check it out.
Is this getting worse, this problem? Are you getting more and more people coming to you as the months and years go by?
Well, I get between 6 and 10 calls a day from people, brand new calls a day from people that are suffering from electromagnetic attacks and other kinds of covert activity against themselves. And of course, I get emails from all over the world. Almost every country in the world has a similar problem going on, and so as long as you're within reach of satellites and other kinds of cell tower transmissions, you're within a keystroke of being harassed.
People who complain that they're being watched often say they are hearing voices. How are voices transmitted?
They're transmitted by a technology called biocoded directed energy. And that's a top secret thing that was developed. And what it is they get your DNA. In other words, they pick your garbage up in front of your house one day. And inside your garbage is your DNA. Most likely from the trash can in your bathroom that you dumped in your garbage. Once they have your DNA, they take the DNA and they put your DNA code in a supercomputer. And in that supercomputer, they run algorithms that biocode electromagnetic transmissions so they bioresonate with your body. Once they've done that, they can transmit that from satellites or cell towers or aircraft or any number of ways, and that signal will only affect you and nobody else. In other words, everybody standing next to you is not going to hear the content because their receiver is not tuned to that bioresonance.
There's a bioresonance to every individual, just like our fingerprint. Every person has an individual DNA, a different bioresonance. And so the original Stockholm patent is on my website, where Stockholm was able to go voice to skull with pulse transmissions in 92. And then after the rest of the development went black ops. We don't really know what happened after that. We knew we could put voices in group people's heads. What they did, and I know from the Russian translation, from Cheryl Welsh, from reading all her translated psychotronic stuff from Russia, that they figured out how to biocode these microwaves so that it can attack specific individuals.
They basically analyze your DNA, and they then use supercomputers to encode the signals. So just think of it this way. It's kind of like, let's say you have a cell phone and I have a cell phone, and they're the exact same model cell phone. Let's say it's, an LG cell phone. You and I have the exact same ones, except your phone's programmed to your phone number and mine is programmed to my phone number. And as those cell phones sit there, they listen to the control channel of the nearest tower. And the control channel is sending out codes so that if somebody wants to call you and they ring your number, and that tower will then put out your phone number on the control channel. And once your cell phone sees that control channel number, it wakes up because it recognizes that that's the number that it's associated with, and it sends a signal back to the tower saying, "I'm over here. Send the call through." So it's the encoding that's coming off on a microwave link that causes different phones to come alive based on their coding. So the biocoded directed energy is the same thing, except instead of phones, we got human bodies.
What is the worst case that you've ever worked on where you saw this? What exactly was it like for this person?
Most people consider themselves to be in hell, especially the ones that are getting voices that are instructing them to do things. A lot of times, most of the times, the voices are just demeaning, and attempting to shut the person off from their normal life flow and their normal friends and family, that kind of thing. But then the really serious cases are where the voices are instructing them to do destructive things. It can just escalate into being worse.
What ways how do you block it? Like, say if you're in your house, how do you block that from coming in, the waves and stuff?
Yeah, we block it with an electrostatic active shield system that generates, it's kind of like a jammer. Mm-hmm. It just blocks incoming electromagnetic fields so that, you're able to, once you're inside this particular device, you're able to stop it.
So if this is happening to them, what do you do? Like, where do you go?
Well,
who do you turn to?
We have a test protocol where people that are being electronically harassed, where the harassment travels with them, they come to us and we put them through a test protocol. The test protocol has to do with scanning them to see if they have microchip implants. It has to do with using spectrum analyzers to analyze what kind of electromagnetic attacks are taking place. It has to do with putting them inside different kinds of shielding systems to see what blocks the problem that they're having. And so that's the way we handle it with that particular test protocol.
Do you do this all over the country, or do you have to be just in your area?
We do travel all over the country, but lately we have people come to us just because we're so overloaded.
We have a question from YouTube. They want to know if this is affordable to the everyday person.
Yeah, the shielding runs about $1,500.
Okay. What about the test protocol?
Test protocol takes 5 days and runs about $2,500.
How long does this system take to set up? Like, when you get a case, what do you have to do from start to finish? How does this all work?
Well, you have to go put the individual through the test protocol to find out the nature of the problem. When we do test protocols, we interview the individual, find out what it is that's bothering them, and attempt to use our test equipment to find out what it is. So in some cases, it's that they're directly being harassed intentionally, and in other cases, they are in environments that are electromagnetically unhealthy, and they're suffering the symptoms of electrical hypersensitivity.
Now, you're an expert in this area. Have you ever been called as a witness in a court case on behalf of a TI?
Okay, the first thing you have to understand is that any TI that's ever taken a case against the government or the government subcontractors have had their case dismissed under national security. There's not been one single case that I know of that didn't get dismissed in that manner.
And that was the judge's ruling, this is a matter of national security?
Well, what happens is the agency that you're suing, let's say you're suing the CIA, you're suing the FBI, or some black ops agency, and or their subcontractors, and they will step in and tell the judge that it's a matter of national security and they need it dismissed, and they just rubber stamp that. They just dismiss it.
Wow. I love that video. And we need to get in touch with them. Expensive, but at least it exists. So, number one, they said that there's so many ways that they can, when they shoot something, only you will feel it because it's biologically for you. Another thing that was important, they say that they tell the judges to dismiss the case. So that really answers the question, because a lot of people believe that the case that we have needs more evidence. So I have the greatest evidence, and we're gonna be able to prove the case with it. It's not evidence. It's corruption. Okay, it's corruption versus courage. We need people to stand up. That's all. So, and then also they have shielding and test protocols. Oh my God! I mean, it's expensive, but I know, if anybody could, $1,500 to shield, you have to go through the test protocol first, find out what's affecting you and what's going on, and then you'll be able to shield. I mean, well worth it. So they used to travel around. I don't know exactly where they are. I will be looking into that video, and we'll put that up on TIEvents.com. I'm sorry, .org. got a new website, tievents.org. We'll post that so that you will have be able to find out about these people. That'll be there. Okay, and so next, I'm talking, and we're going to go right into a commercial break, and then we're going to come back. I want to share something about the Newburgh 4, what happened recently, just 3 more items, and then we're going to hear from our guests. So we want to do the Newburgh 4. I want to mention something about the 5 TIs that were highlighted, and CARE has a call to action for everybody. So let's get ready. Take a commercial break.
Are you feeling like something strange is happening in your life? You tell others, but nobody believes you? Well, get ready to uncover the truth with GoGi Justice's groundbreaking book, GoGi's 10 Signs Which Indicate You're a Targeted Individual. GoGi Justice, an everyday person just like you, has written a book that exposes the covert illegal activities happening right under our noses. With a writing style that's raw, honest, and relatable, GoGi takes you on a journey through the dark world of targeted individuals. You'll ask yourself if you are experiencing these signs. Learn about infiltration, gang stalking, privacy violations, and even hacked home appliances. GoGi's book is a beacon of hope, providing encouragement, tips, and resources for those who find themselves trapped in this nightmare. It's time to fight back and regain control of your life. So if you're tired of feeling isolated, unheard, and targeted, grab a copy of GoGi's 10 Signs Which Indicate You're a Targeted Individual. Available now on Amazon.com and the Targeted Justice Etsy shop. Don't let them silence you any longer. Take the first step towards understanding, empowerment, and freedom. Get your copy today and join the movement. GoGi Justice's book, A Voice for the Targeted Individuals.
Are you a targeted individual looking for support and connection? Look no further than TIEvents.org, the ultimate event site for targeted individuals worldwide. Discover a wide range of upcoming events from conferences and meetups to rallies and fundraisers. Connect with like-minded individuals, participate in informative conference calls, and explore a wealth of resources. Visit TIEvents.org today and join a thriving community of targeted individuals. Together, we can make a difference. TIEvents.org, empowering targeted individuals worldwide.
All right, okay. Okay, so we have a few more things here. This is very interesting that came out in the news. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I turned away from it. And but it's the Newburgh 4, if you remember the story. I apologize. I forget to it. But if you remember about the Newburgh 4, very interesting here. What's going on. So they have just freed the 4th one, but let's look at why, because the crime is so horrible. So U.S. judge condemns who? The FBI, while ordering release of man in Newburgh 4 case. This is 2 days ago. Okay, it says a man convicted in 2010 of plotting to blow up New York City synagogues, a Jewish community center, and shoot down military planes was ordered to be released from prison by a judge who said the defendant was part of a group manipulated by the FBI. Oh, wow. Manipulated by the FBI. 4 men who became known as the Newburgh 4 were caught in a scheme in 2009 to attack the synagogue's community center and launch Stinger missiles at military aircraft. Driven by what the judge describes as overzealous FBI agents and an unsavory confidential informant, U.S. District Judge Colleen McMahon, we need to write her as well, and had already ordered the 3 other men in the group, Anta Williams, David Williams, and LaGuerra Payen, to be released last July. The 4th man, James Cromartie, described as the ringleader by the government, was ordered released by the judge on Friday. The judge called the case notorious. The judge called the men hapless petty. The men hapless petty criminals who were easily manipulated by the government in a sting operation. The 4 men were convicted of terrorism charges in 2010 and sentenced to 25 years in prison. Friday's order by the judge asked for Cromitty's sentence to be cut to time served plus 90 days. It did not reverse the conviction. He'll have to do that on his own. Judge McMahon said that Cromitty was a small-time grifter who was broke and unemployed when he was enlisted in the FBI-driven plot and provided fake bombs to plant in exchange for $250,000 in the jihadist mission. Cromitty enlisted the other 3 men to serve as lookouts, according to the judge. The 3 men were recruited so that Cromitty could conspire with someone, the judge said. The real lead conspirator was the United States. The FBI invented the conspiracy, identified the targets, manufactured the ordinance. Cromitty, by longtime FBI informant Shahid Hussein, whom the judge was recruited, called a villain. The judge wrote that Hussein's role was to infiltrate mosques and spot people who could be potential extremists. Hussein offered heavenly and earthly rewards, including as much as $250,000 to Cromitty if he would plan and participate in and find others to participate in a jihadist mission, according to the judge. Very sad. So the 4th one was released. They got these guys and got them to do, accept this conviction, or they got them to do the crime. They planned it, gave them the bombs and everything else. So another example of FBI corruption, all right, which is going on. So thank God the 4th one was released. All right. I also wanted to mention there's 5 TIs that we want to talk about. It started with the Freedom articles, but there's a recent article about them right now, and I'm going to push this off to next week or another time because of the time. But Catherine Horton, of course, I'm going to say a 6th one, James Walbert, Karen Melton Stewart, who else is it? David Voights, and reading their stories just brought tears to my eyes. I mean, what they've gone through, they're stand-up people in the community, and, and their lives were wrecked because of this. Mariana Maricato, and who's the other one? Barbara Hartwell. So we're going to start reviewing them, just their cases and what's going on with them. But we also know, we reviewed before, that James Walbert and Catherine Horton won cases against the government for their targeting. All right, so I wanted to mention that, and then we want to play the clip from CARE, and then we're going to hear from two other things, and then we're going to keep moving. I'm so sorry that it's getting late, gee whiz. Okay, let's hear the clip, please. And this is a challenge. Wait, let me just set this up. 1 second. 1 second, Twinnie, you can get it ready, though. Let me just set this up 1 minute. There's something I want to share about this. And if you remember the case is the one in court right now with let's look at this. I don't want to say the right. I want to make sure I say the right thing. Okay, yeah, here it is. It says, join CARE in the fight against the FBI's secret watch list. Assalamu alaikum. We are reaching out to you today with a crucial message and a call to action. In the video above, we don't have the video. I'll try to get that for next week. CARE attorney Gabir Abbas speaks in front of the Supreme Court right after delivering CARE's first ever argument to the nation's highest court, which focused on the FBI's unconstitutional and Orwellian watch list. I have to look that word up. Orwellian watch list. This watch list now 20 years old. 20 years old. That would mean 2003 or 2004. Disproportionately targets Muslims, and we at CARE have made it our priority to advocate against this discriminatory practice. The video powerfully conveys our stand. Join the fight to end the FBI's secret watch list. We are now not just fighting in the courts. We are actively advocating for policymakers to take action against the watch list and urging the Biden administration to address this watch list, this secret racially biased watch list. And they're asking for our support. We'll post that on tievents.org. And it says, by joining our cause and donating, you can stand with CARE in our tireless effort to end this discriminatory watch list. Your contribution matters immensely in our continued advocacy and legal battles. And let's watch the video, but I'm sure Targeted Justice, we could put up the same one because we're doing the same thing. All right, go ahead, please. I don't hear the video.
Hold on.
Okay,
no GoGi, I got it.
Okay, thank you.
The watch
list, my dear.
It's now 20 years old. And on that list is the name of our prophet hundreds of thousands of times. Not thousands of times, not tens of thousands of times, but hundreds of thousands of times. It's a list of Muslims. It's a secret list of Muslims. And at CARE, it's a priority for us to have the government not use a secret racist list of Muslims against our community. And so that's what we're here doing today at the Supreme Court, and that's what we're doing in courtrooms across the country, but not just in court. We are advocating for policymakers to take action against the watch list, for the Biden administration to do something about the secret racist list that they have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Samia. So they are smart move on their part. They have the Fikri versus FBI, or right now it's FBI versus Fikri, the case that we all listened to, and we're waiting for the judges to decide. It should be a couple of more weeks maybe that they decide whether it's moot or that they proceed. So now, since they have the attention with the watch list, they're asking for donations, and it's just a really smart move on their part, but they do have more. If it's in their favor, they will continue their case in court for Fikri, who refused to be an informant and was targeted. The problem that we have is that they don't stand with targeted individuals. They call themselves listed individuals, and they're focusing on mostly the Muslims. But you know what? The watch list is the watch list, and if they're going to investigate, the whole thing has to be investigated, and we're on there as well. So that is the good thing that is happening in the news that can free us as well. All right, so we took a lot of time with this, but, I mean, I hope that you enjoyed and got a lot out of everything that we're doing. I don't want to keep our guests waiting for long. We have a few things that we want to do, so we're going to limit our time. So I'm going to ask Roger. I'm going to ask Roger to come on about the shielding, and I'm going to give Roger 10 minutes because we're going to try to do this by 10:30, and then we're going to go into Q&A. So I'm going to ask Roger to come on for 10 minutes, I think, Kim, you have about 3 minutes. And Lauren, we're going to read the plaintiff. That should take maybe 5 minutes or so. So, Roger, 10 to 15 minutes. Roger's going to shield. This is, I mean, you ever have a kindred spirit? This is my one. I mean, like I'm TI family for sure. So we're going to welcome Roger, former parole person and veteran. And he's going to share some of his shielding tips with us. And I have to say, when we opened up and we talked about shielding before, whoever told about the batteries, they said stacked batteries, I'd love to hear from you. Somebody said something about a cool blow dryer. I mean, really unique shielding tips, but please email me. I'd like to hear more about it. And we're going to I would like to keep shielding as a segment each J.A.M. But in the meantime, Roger, are you there and ready? Well, I guess not. Okay, so let's go to Kim and come back. And Sister Samia, thank you for playing that clip for us. Very informative. Kim, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I was beginning to wonder. I thought I was here by myself for a minute. Okay, so we're reading over the demands of that Karen Stewart has on her page or website or something, or a post that she had, and we've been going over them for a while. And we had a lot of suggestions, and I appreciate everyone with the suggestions. It was really good stuff. But we want to look at three more of hers tonight. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Karen Stewart, she's a retired NSA intelligence analyst that is a targeted individual. And, well, anyway, she wrote a letter to Mr. Meadows with the White House Chief of Staff, and I'm start reading part of it. Whereas the United States of America illegally and heinously cowardly fashion declared a secret war upon its own non-combatant, unarmed citizens under pretense of inside job 9/11 attack, which it too is responsible for. Then continued the war crimes, human rights crimes, and financial exploitation crimes against certain American citizens and other non-combatant, unarmed citizens without cause but for profit. We are victims that demand immediate cessation of the crime assaults upon us all at the levels of all locations. Okay, and here's some of them. One is we demand exemptions from all taxes whatsoever, state, federal, sales tax, property tax, inheritance tax for the children and the families of the victims. We demand special status and ID reflecting so that the authorities who ignored and abused us, who know they did not give us any respect or courtesy, are known that they cannot be hassled or fabricate even minor infractions without serious consequences to them and their careers. Our requests and questions will be handled properly, never blown off, responded to as false information. Our special IDs will bring us to the front line of any line or wait list for service, as well as we will wish in retribution to the society of the ingratitude of that treated us worse than dirt.
Wow.
If we wish, we can. Yeah. If we wish, we can be given land to build a community, several communities, to live separately, and to protect from society which heinously and cruelly abused us. We will decide the rules and the laws of the community in accordance to the Constitution. We will be provided with special force by the federal government, superseding all others for our protection, but not without the authority of the Constitution. We will demand top medical center care. And then for my third one, we will demand that the community deem us necessary to build the state-of-the-art materials to fully give us protection from any direct energy weapon attacks ever again, and that Special Security Service will employ 24/7 to detect neutralization such threats along the state-of-the-art devices and methodologies to protect us from any toxic gases and poisons, and individual houses not in such a community must meet similar standards, however. Those were the three.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that, Kim. I mean, coming from a woman who obviously knows what can be done. So protection from toxic gases and so forth. I love the no tax anymore ever. And, so I don't know if she mentioned no, I guess that means no paying the IRS. I hope that's what that, yeah. Okay, so.
No inheritance tax, property or sales tax, federal, state. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And we deserve it because they've abused ours. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. All right. And okay. And now we wanted to I don't hear Roger yet. If I do, he'll come on last, because now we're going to hear Lauren. I hope you're ready. We want to hear the fourth plaintiff tonight, who happens to be Winter Calvert. Okay, Lauren, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Plaintiff again is Winter Calvert. Number one, the foregoing allegations are realleged and incorporated herein. Number two, Plaintiff Calvert was nominated and included in the TSDB NIS McCarthy Blacklist devoid of supporting particularized derogatory information linking him to acts of terrorism without having been given any notice or opportunity to rebut. And based on his First Amendment protected activities. Number three, defendant FBI does not possess and has never corroborated particularized derogatory information linking plaintiff Calvert to any act of terrorism. Number four, plaintiff Calvert has never been convicted of any crime. Number five, on or around December 2016, Mr. Calvert sustained a medical emergency while he was at his mother's house. While laying on the floor suffering from what he had learned were severe blood clots, two deputy sheriffs of the Brazoria, I hope I'm saying that right, Brazoria County, didn't allow the ambulance to drive up right away to the driveway to take him to the hospital. Number six, by plaintiff Mr. Calvert laid on the floor of his mother's house in severe pain and on the brink of death, two Brazoria County deputy sheriffs entered the premises. Both deputy sheriffs asserted that they could not allow anyone into the premises until they inspected thoroughly, such they had to, quote unquote, secure the area, because they had been told that a suspected terrorist lived there. Number seven, as a result of the sheriff's directives, it took more than an hour for the plaintiff Calvert to receive emergency medical attention, almost costing him his life. The person that lived in that property where plaintiff Calvert and his 87-year-old mother, who is a retired attorney licensed in state of Texas. Number eight, plaintiff Calvert's inclusion in the TSDB McCarthy blacklist subjected him to defendant's illegal breaking in to his home, physically and electronic surveillance, and organized stalking, at least 2011, in violation of his rights under the First and Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution and the Convention Against Torture, and causing him egregious mental anguish, anxiety, and suffering. Number nine, The result of the plaintiff Culbert's illicit inclusion in the TSDB McCarthy blacklist since at least 2016. He has undergone painful and debilitating DEW on a daily basis to various parts of his body, microwave burns, blood clots, inflicting on him severe debilitating sleep deprivation and anxiety, physical and mental pain and suffering. Number 10, despite the impeccable professional qualifications, Mr. Culbert's inclusion in the TSD McCarthy list and the organized stalking that ensued forced him to be unemployed for 2 years and 8 months beginning in 2013. 11. Plaintiff's Culbert's inclusion in the TSDB's McCarthy blacklist subjected him since 2011 to illegal breaking into his home, vandalizing his property, personal electronic surveillance, and organized stalking, electronic interference and hacking, in violation of his under the 1st, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments of Convention Against Torture, resulting in damages estimated in amount no less than $12 million. Number 12. Since 2016, plaintiff Culbert has suffered constant attacks perpetrated from satellite and cell towers valued in the amount of $21 million. Number 13. Plaintiff Culbert has sustained permanent brain injuries and developed a permanent physical condition similar to Havana syndrome. The permanent physical damages and mental pain and suffering this condition causes him are estimated in the amount no less than $20 million. Number 14. Aside from the payment of damages amounting in $53 million, plaintiff Culbert's request that considering malicious intent behind his targeting, experimentation, torture, and suffering, the court hold defendants Ray, Abel Jr., Iorcus, and Weinstein jointly liable to him for punitive damages for $159 million. Number 15. In violation of the right protected under the 4th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, plaintiff Culbert has suffered inordinate amounts of electronic surveillance interface and hacking since he became targeted. However, immediately after the instant conflict, I'm sorry, y'all. My screen is all busted up. However, immediately after the instant complaint was filed, his electronic surveillance substantially increased as reflected in the following few examples. 1. Emails sent to his attorneys are blocked. 1. Send button in the emails disappear, quote unquote, and emails is about to be sent. 1. Phone doesn't ring certain persons' calls, such as T.I., Teresa, Minister, F-I-N-I-S-T-E-R, who calls are not registered in the call log, but she is allowed to leave voice messages. 1. Phone doesn't ring when his attorney, Robert Brown from Arizona, calls. 1. Trying to make an online donation to Representative Matt, I'll spell it G-A-E-T-Z, the quote-unquote continued button to proceed to payment would be disabled on various browsers. 1. Between 13 and 14, 2023, Mr. Colbert tried to send a text message to plaintiff Lynn Burr. On 4 occasions, they were blocked, stating, quote, "Message not delivered," unquote. 1. When trying to listen to voice messages, the system replies that cannot access it because, quote, "someone has already entered that password," unquote. It takes various minutes of attempting to access voicemail to successfully do so. 1. When typing anything on any browser, there is 3 to 4 second delay between typing a character and its reflection on the screen. 1. Plaintiff Colbert also requests that the FBI and the DHS be ordered to pay him damages for the illegal disclosure of his inclusion in the TSDB with social, professional, and personal repercussions, suffering, anxiety, and loss that has caused him. These damages are estimated in minimum amount of $1 million per year, depending on the quality and quantity of the derogatory information shared outside of the agency, to be calculated when defendants provide the evidence of the extent of the disclosure. Number 2, plaintiff Colbert requests that the court hold defendants jointly liable in the payment of reasonable attorney fees and costs under the 28 U.S.C. 2412 5 U.S.C. 552A4E I and Bevins. Number 3, plaintiff Colbert specifically requests that the court order defendants to remove his name from the TSDB's McCarthy blacklist comprised within NIS handling code 3/4 categories. Recall all lists containing his name and instruct them to abstain from including his name in any illegal database used to carry out human torture, experimentation, and any other improper purpose. That's it.
Well read. Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you. Wow. So there's a lot to take out of that. I mean, he stayed 1 hour on the floor while they, in an emergency, you call 911, you stay 1 hour on the floor because they have you down, have a known and suspected terrorist saying is in that house, and it's just him and his 87-year-old mother, and he knows that it's not him. So, which, some things happen for a reason, as they say, because that is what allowed, what propelled him to do the research and find out that we're on the list, and that's how they treat us, and it's because of the list that they do all of these things. I just want to, I know that Owen Calvert is on the line. If you want to make a comment, please star 6. We'd love to hear from you. I just do that because we are reading your story, so I don't know if you have any feelings about it, but I would welcome your input if you would like to say something. Okay. So if anytime while I'm talking, you can interrupt me. But I do want us to note something, that again, with the lawsuit, the 18 plaintiffs are named and will be compensated. However, it's also a model or a template that we can pick up and take to our attorney once it prevails. So if you look at, he doesn't have V2K. So it's not talking about V2K, but it talks about the break-ins, the organized stalking. So if your case is most similar to this plaintiff, number 4, then this would be the one that you pick up. So your story at the beginning, he starts with what happened to him. If you had any medical issue that happened to you, you start with that, and then you just the way it's enumerated, you switch in facts about yourself. And he talks even about the devices and the technical difficulties in hacking. So that's where your journal comes in, that you should be journaling specific dates and details, and this is what you give to your attorney so that they can just take it and change it. This eliminates a whole lot of time, and which time equals money, right? So you give them the template, they have the whole beginning, the beautiful, flawlessly written lawsuit by Attorney Anna, and then they have the specific case with whether you're number 1, number 2, up to 18. If you most match number 4, then this is the one you pick up, and you put your information in, or your attorney does, and then you have your lawsuit. And when you look at how much is being asked, we watch and see what happens with the trial, and that the same thing that they get, that's what you want. All right, so, I mean, and when people are like, oh, where am I in the lawsuit? That's where you are in the lawsuit. You're with one of the plaintiffs. Look at the 18 plaintiffs. See who you match up with the best. Okay? So, I mean, it's being given to us in our hands. All right. Okay, so we're going to open up for Q&A in a minute because I don't know what happened to my buddy. Maybe he fell asleep or something. I see him on the line. Roger, if you're there, please star 6. But you know what? In all fairness, let's just have him next week as our special guest, and we'll open up for Q&A today and close out as usual. And next week we'll deal with, we'll just have a shielding special, a shielding and personal care, how to care for yourself special, okay? So I think that we covered everything we needed to cover tonight. And now if you have any questions about anything that was said, the plaintiff that was plaintiff number 4, the information that Karen Stewart was read, the stingray was read, so I want to thank Lauren, thank Kim, thank Tanya, thanks Samia, of course Tranquility, always, and I don't know who else did some things tonight. Don't let me miss anybody. And so thank everybody who participated in bringing the J.A.M to our people, and thank you everybody, thank you all TIs for pressing past your pain to be here so that we can prepare, produce, and progress. That's what it's about. We got to persevere, preserve yourself, and in every sense of the word, spiritually, psychologically, financially, every way that you can, because we are in a war, and you are surviving because you're here and you're listening, so you have survived to this point. You are a survivor, and just keep on putting one foot in front of the other. That's what God told me, and I tell you, He couldn't have told me anything else, and I've been doing it ever since. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but here we are. So we're going to continue pressing in. Let's keep moving. And right now, if you have a question, please star 6. I have 2 questions. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Sandra Williams, and I wanted to find out, I guess, that case that she just read. I wanted to find out how do we get the template, because it's like everything verbatim that I can use for a case right now.
Absolutely. It is on targetedjustice.com. That is the prevailing lawsuit that was filed on January 11, 2023, officially January 12th. And it is, if you go and look under lawsuits, all of them are there. Each filing is there. So you'll be able to, so you'll be able to print it, read it, do whatever. It's yours.
Okay. Wow. Awesome. Right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Great job.
God bless you.
God bless. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining the J.A.M. Mm-hmm. All right. Next.
Hi, this is Michelle. This is Michelle in Oklahoma.
Hi, Michelle.
It's not a question. It's just I wanted to state something here. I've been a TI for almost 6 years that I know of. And I'm here to VTK Voices 24/7, and they're constantly saying that they have warrants for me, which the police and DA have told me that I don't, which I don't do anything illegal. I'm almost 65 years old and have some really severe medical problems, and they've made my medical problems a lot worse. And right now, as we speak here, they're talking about that that she thinks she's a TI and she's not. We have her under investigation. We're getting ready to go in there after this conference call is over and arrest her and take her pet, she said, for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to state that on here for record purposes, but I'm also going to do other things like with the template and all that. And I also have a group of my own, targeted individual support group.
Oh, good. You have a targeted individual support group?
Yeah, that's the name of it.
Where is it?
It's on Facebook, but if you're on Facebook.
Oh, on Facebook. I see.
Targeted individual support group. Right, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I really have a lot of respect and am very grateful for Targeted Justice and all of you that are doing God's work here, because this is definitely fighting the devil's advocate.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you for pressing past your pain. I can't imagine to say what you're saying. It's good that you know, and it's proving that what they're telling you is absolutely not true, and that you're not going to be arrested for any warrant, and they're not going to take your pet, and you know that, and so keep pushing past it, and there is a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. So just keep on keeping on. Thank you for joining the J.A.M. tonight, and thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Okay.
Hi, this is Jet from Atlanta, and I wanted to get some more information about the program that does the shielding test protocol.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So now, that was the first time I heard the clip all the way to the end, and I'm so glad I played it to the end, because it was interesting enough to keep me going. I'm so glad I listened to the end. So all I heard so far is that they have a test protocol that can tell what frequencies are attacking your body, and what's important is not only with DO, but also V2K. And then they have shielding. Now, the test protocol is $2,500. It takes 5 days. And then the shielding is $1,500. So at first they said they traveled to other people, but now they just let people come to them. So we just, we need to check them out a little bit and make sure that it's legit, and but, I would say, proceed with caution, but we need to check them out a lot of it, actually, and then and see. But, we'll have to look into it. Okay. But we'll post it. I'll post it, and if you want to be the one to check it out thoroughly, like look at maybe there'll be some other TIs that have been through it and they say something positive, or I'm not sure, but we really need to dissect it, all the way to the smallest atom. Yeah, because we'll be taking our bodies to them. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Jet. So good to have you on board. Thanks for joining the J.A.M.
Thank you.
Okay. Next caller, please.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is
Hi,
Pastor
how are
K.
you?
Everybody. I'm okay.
Hi, Pastor K.
Hi. Hi, GoGi. Hi, everybody. This is my first time on this call, and I am so grateful that I took the time to be part of it, because it's very, very informative, So thank you for the work that you are doing. Now, the sister earlier asked about the test protocol, and that was one of my questions. And I'm glad that you said you're going to dissect it. And I will advise if you can bring them on your on the call. Maybe we can ask more questions and get to know more about them.
That's smart.
Another suggestion. And my other questions that I have, and before I add other questions, so I also would like to advise people who are dealing with VK. I don't know exactly that much about it, because that's not what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with graduations and stalking. But I will say, as a pastor, I would advise people that deal with that issue to put on, gospel music or the word, because the mind is the battlefield. And so when you listen, to what is pure, the Bible says, the Word of God, that is gonna help fight whatever voice that's coming to harass you. Whether you even deal with it or you don't deal with it, that's one of the ways that myself I do with it, and it's really, really, very helpful. Now, the other questions that I have, GoGi, is for the case that you were talking about. Is it, how can you become a plaintiff? Do you have to get your own lawyer, or is it a case for all of us? How that works? Because I'm new in this call, so although I speak to a few of us, your view, but I don't really know that much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your question. So that is the case that Targeted Justice filed, Anna Toledo filed on behalf of Targeted Justice and 18 plaintiffs. So although it represents 18 plaintiffs in terms of they'll be the ones that, are compensated or that stand to gain from the lawsuit directly, we indirectly all gain indirectly. So there was an opportunity to register for the lawsuit as a person of interest, not as another plaintiff, not as a class action lawsuit, but as a person of interest, which means that if Attorney Anna is given the opportunity to go in the back and look at the list, this infamous TSDB list, then she will be able to look up your name, find out when you were put on the list and who nominated you. This is our hope. This is what the request is from the lawsuit. So that information will be given to you if you are registered as a person of interest. And right now that process is shut down because of, she's working on some things with the list. And I hate to even say list anymore. List is now a bad word in my vocabulary. I used to love lists. But anyway, but the 18, when the case prevails, we win the case. Let's say we win the case. Then each of the plaintiffs, they're going to receive different compensation. Who you are most like. If you felt like the one that was read today, this is number 4. We'll call him number 4, Owen Calvert. If you feel like his story is similar to your story, then you can take that, the whole lawsuit, and that particular one, number 4, and when you go to your attorney, you tell them this is the lawsuit. All the citations are there. The background is there. I mean, the lawyer may, add things to it or to delete, can modify it, but he'll have a really good foundation, and then you put your information in. That's why it's important. We always say do your journaling. Make sure you keep details of what happens. They broke in my house today. This was moved. This was broken, or this was taken. It's January 24th at 10 a.m., and I called the cops. They wouldn't take a report, but it was officer this one and officer that one, and this is the badge numbers of the ones who came to the house, and blah, 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 blah. And then you go on. But you keep all of your details down in the journal, and I felt violated, and I felt upset, and this and that. Keep your feelings down and everything. Put it all in the journal so that you'll have it, and then you can put that information in here, just as he was able to say, I called and no one picked up. The button off of my keyboard was removed. What any specific things, you put it down, because they may say, let's say they say, okay, every time there was a technical violation of with devices is $100, and you report 50 of them. So it equates to money. So you make sure that you just keep your details down, and it also makes it you also bring credibility to your story because you're writing a journal that's in order, you know. So journals stand up in court. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's
All
great
right.
to
Thank
know.
you. Okay.
Stay strong, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Pastor K.
Hi, GoGi.
We'll hear from you again. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
That's good. So the lawsuit, the form that you were talking about, you said it's a form where we could file our own lawsuit?
Is this Brianna?
It's a template?
Is that Brianna?
Uh-huh.
Is this?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
You said there's a template on targeted justice, right? That we could fill out ourselves and we would be able to use for our own lawsuit?
No, well, not exactly. The lawsuit, the claim itself, the lawsuit, can be used as a template. Okay?
Gotcha.
With your lawyer, after we win, right? We're in victory, so after we win, then that becomes a template, a model for your attorneys to use for you. And the thing is to study those 18 plaintiffs and see who you are most like. And whoever you're most like, that's the one that you really use. Start working. You can work on that. You can work on it and have it ready. Save money and time with your attorney if they'll, accept it.
Mm-hmm. Do you know of any attorneys in Illinois who work on this?
Well, the problem is, remember that targeted justice took 5 years to find Anna Toledo. Most attorneys will not stand up against the intelligence agency.
I've called one before. He told me I need to go to a mental hospital instead of calling an attorney.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get it,
Yep.
And it's so sad because not only attorneys but judges. So we really need, we really need to understand what we're up against, and we're up against corruption, and we need courageous people to stand up and do what's right here. Thank God that the targeting has gotten so bad and so wide, so broad that almost everybody's on the darn list. It's so big that and it's like gushing out all over the place. And so we, to the point we have a baby on there, this and that on there, the J6 is on there, the BLM's on there. So that's from one end to the other. You got the J6s and the Black Lives Matter. You got everybody on the list, the Catholics, the Muslims. Give me a break. So everybody's on the darn list, and and you're doing all this targeting, and don't expect it to bite you in the butt. They don't expect it to ever be exposed. So it's gushing out all over the place, and we are in a state of we're in patience and waiting, and we're preserving ourselves in the meantime, preparing and producing and progressing. So that's where we are right now, so that we can be ready when the time comes. Yeah.
Okay. And so for now, we're just waiting on the victory with the current lawsuit that Anna Toledo is working on.
Right.
And then,
so now, she filed it. The last motion was filed December 6th, and now we're waiting to hear our date where we can go to New Orleans for the rally in New Orleans for our day in court where she would get an oral argument. That's our hope, that's our position, and that's what we're expecting from the judges in the appellate court.
Okay.
Okay.
And are we allowed to go to that, or is it just you all, the people that are on the Okay, I was just curious.
No, we have a list of 300 people already that have planned. I believe it's about 300 that plan to attend the rally. So.
Oh, okay. And I would like the information for the rally. I didn't even catch that.
Okay, so it's on tievents.org.
Okay.
tievents.org, and we have you just fill it out, and we're working on transportation and just a lot of good stuff that we want to make sure that we're all there, because we want the judges to see everyday people on a domestic terrorist list. Just absolutely ludicrous in this here America.
So the rally is in New Orleans as well?
That's where the courthouse, the appellate court that we're in is in New Orleans. So when our attorney only gets a certain amount of time to present our case before the judges, and while she's doing that, we're going to go to the area and spread the word, what's going on, and show support.
Okay. And so I'm sorry, I don't mean to bombard you with so many questions. So you said that you can become, is it a person of interest on the list in order for Anna to possibly see when you were put on the list and who put you on the list?
Yes. Now that window was open for quite a while. It's currently closed, and I'm told that it will be open again. She'll let us know when.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, that is all for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Welcome to the J.A.M. All right. Next caller, please. All right. Thanks, Brianna.
Hi, GoGi. It's Ted.
Hi, Ted.
Yes, Ted.
Ted from New York?
Ted from Jersey.
Ted from Jersey. Ted? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good session tonight.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to ask, have you touched base on simjacking, cable haunting? You touched base today on the car. I just recently posted something on TikTok about car. They've actually turned off the car on me, electronic. So the car I was going to work, and they were able to shut down the electronics where the steering wheel got tight, and I would give it gas, and it wouldn't accelerate. All I was able to do is coast it over to the right, all the way to the shoulder. Thank God I didn't get into no accident. This happened several times. But I tried to get that video from another phone that I had, and they weren't allowing me. I was trying to get it through WhatsApp, and they weren't allowing me. So that's why I had to record from the top view, recording the other phone. So what they would do is they would shut the car off. Now when you drive it, you turn it off and turn it back on. When you turn it off, it sounds like a power surge. You know, you get a power surge, you get that click.
Yep.
That's how the car was making a sound. So I know the car can be hacked. You know, I'm just giving people the heads up. This can be hacked. Cars are gathering more data than phones are nowadays, and this is something that people need to be aware of. People need to change their patterns of life around all devices if you want any type of privacy, because otherwise everything and everything is grabbing everything.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. I mean, people want smart homes, walk in and turn my lights on.
They're just making the job easier. They're just making the jobs easier for these people. They just sit down on a computer or in front of a TV and monitor everything, eating donuts, having coffee. I mean, their line of work is obsolete. You know, and a lot of stuff goes through. They don't even see it. Now you got all these programs of AI.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things are only going to get worse. We're becoming a police state.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the technology is happens so fast, and it's so convenient. But so the fact that it's being
there's no
misused,
laws in place. Exactly. There's no laws in place to protect the citizens from police. Everybody knows police don't follow the rules. They break them all the time.
It's awful, and they have the best technology. They have all the
Absolutely.
weapons and everything, yep. and for it to be to be used and abused, for us to be abused by it, it's just it's ludicrous, and for the government to support it or parts of the government to support it. Everyone in the government doesn't know; they're not aware, but for it to have lasted this long is just outrageous. It really is. It's outrageous.
Right.
And it needs to stop. But I commend you because I know you still have your case, right?
Well, I'm trying to build a case. I told you no, I don't have a case yet. I told you I'm trying to build a case. I'm robocaller or cops.
What is it called?
Robocaller or cops. That's my TikTok.
Robocola. Okay, I remember because no, it's Wilfredo that goes to the court. Okay.
Correct. Wilfredo's the one in New York. Correct. And I did speak to him. I spoke to him about a month back when you had connected me with him. Hopefully, I'll get to meet him in person soon.
That would be great.
Yes, but people definitely have to change their ways around devices. Devices are grabbing everything.
Right.
Also, devices are actually also major cause on a lot of the EMF pains that people are experiencing. I know for a fact. I feel pain from my phone. I get either headaches. They can target any specific part of the body. So I have pre-existing injuries on my left foot and my lower back, and these are areas that they target on a regular basis. And this was happening for quite some time until I started calling it out. And then when I started making noise, little by little, the pain subsided. So that just proved my case even more, that it wasn't something natural. When I would go to the doctor, I would tell them all the different symptoms that I was going through, but it was hard to explain to him because it wasn't something normal. It wasn't your regular type of nerve pain or pain or anything. It was all happening at the same time. It was really hard to explain.
Yeah, I get it.
And it got to a point that they had me on so many medication that you end up getting constipated, and before you know, I'm sorry to say it, but things are you're not going to the bathroom the same way. Now they got to operate, and it's all because of all these attacks that they're doing, and they're just exploding everybody.
Yes. Yeah, it's rough, and that, let me say that while you mentioned it, and thank you very much, Ted. So the make sure it's important to document what goes on with you medically. And we're recommended, or targeted justice suggests, that we don't take the digital results from the test, but the analog, the original ones, how they put it up on that screen. That's what I'm guessing. Right. That X-ray screen, take those because that cannot be manipulated. The others can, but get your results whenever you go to the doctor. Get everything. Even now, you can, if you've been to doctors and stuff, call back, get the information. Everybody is pretty good with that because they know you have a right to it. So, ask for it and ask for the original format.
I'm legally disabled, so there's tons of records of all of what I've been experiencing. I've been getting epidural shots for the last 20 years because of all the pains that I go through. And then I call it out, and now it's been over a year that I don't get an epidural shot. So it's kind of weird. When I needed it and I would get it and I still felt like I didn't do nothing, now I call it out and I'm not experiencing pain. Not that I want it, but it's just to show that it was man-made. It wasn't natural.
Right. It's part of the targeting, unfortunately. But
exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for joining the J.A.M. And stay in touch. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you, GoGi.
Okay. Okay. So we have a few more questions. We're going to take them. I'm going to be quicker. I'm going to ask you to be quicker so that we can get off in a decent time. It's already not a decent time. But okay, let's try to do this as quickly as possible. I hate to leave people in queue. So please don't join. Let's get these last few in and let's go. Ready?
You got it, Twinnie.
Okay.
I just needed to ask you just 2 quick questions. Number one, have you heard anything about that case that we listened to? Well, it was not last week, the week before, the one with the Supreme Court justices. And 2, can you briefly just explain, because I think I'm a little confused, on the difference between handling 3 and handling 4? Thank you, and God bless you, GoGi. Thank you for this call and for always making a nobody in anybody and everyone feel like a somebody. God bless you.
Aw, thank you. That is so special. Thank you so much, Sister Samia. Okay, so the answer to your first question, oh, Lord. Why I have a brain fog. Wait a minute. Don't move. Let me see. Oh, shucks. All right. The second question, handling code 3 and 4. I don't think there's much difference, but I don't have the paper in front of me, so I'm going to write that down and make sure I answer that next week. Okay, the difference between handling code 3 and 4. I'm writing it down now. And the first question, which I have the answer to, but I can't remember the question. I'll be darned. Samia, are you still there?
Yes, it was whatever happened or whatever became of the case that we listened to a couple of weeks ago with the Supreme Court justices.
Yes, I got it. So that's FBI versus Fickrey, and it's that the FBI they were appealing the case, and so the judges are still deciding. So it should be a couple of weeks and when they make a decision.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Twinnie. God bless you.
Okay. And we're going to watch that case, and we can't wait till the response comes for that. All right. Next question, please.
Hey, GoGi, this is Lauren from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey, a couple things. Just want to say, for the first thing, when I call 911, my 911 calls are not being registered on my phone. So, like when you pick up the phone, you dial 911 and hang up. It's still supposed to show when you have just recently dialed 911.
Wow.
That's one thing. Not recent, but several years back, about 2010, I had a total rehab on my house, which means that it's a community and development program that came in and pretty much rebuilt the house, okay, from wires to windows and all of that. I am pleading right now to Targeted Justice, Anna Toledo, and Mr. Colbert to please take on my case. My house is falling down. You don't put $46,000 in a house and just how many years later, 2010 to 2024, it's already fallen down. And I have evidence that I believe that the perpetrators are coming in and removing support beams, and also I have had a foundational person come in, the waterproofing and foundational person, just recently in my home to do an evaluation to see what exactly is happening. And I asked him when he went up under my basement if he would take some pictures. He took some pictures, and in those pictures are showing brand new blocks, the foundational blocks that go around your foundation on the outside of your home that holds your house up under my house. It's probably about 5 or 6 blocks stacked together. That, to me, is very suspect. My floors are going south. I've had, and in the rehab, let me just say, in 2010, had a new roof put on this house. Since then, I've had to have another roof put on in 2017 and 2 additional roofs. Now, you know, the initial roof should have lasted at least 30 years. Okay, so I'm not going to get into all of that. But I have had, you know, many TIs to come in my home. They have told me that they, and I mean lived here, and if Michelle's still on the call, she will attest to one of the people that she and I both know that was in my house. I've had other TIs that have come to stay here because they have been homeless. And I sympathize with anybody that is, because I was, even though I owned my home, when I got shot multiple times, I was living in my car. Could not live in my house because the mold was just so bad. So I had to live in my car, and that's when I got shot. But I have opened up my house, and I mean, really, I didn't want to have to talk about this because it's a personal experience for me, but I think it needs to be said, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I have had some people that are TIs that have done quite a few things against me. Trying to help them, they have come against me. I have what I called a friend of mine today tell me, who's also been homeless, that I need to kill myself. And also that I need to watch it because I'm being watched and probably will be put in a mental institution again. Now, I know you had Anna on the call about a month or so ago, and I was talking about the psychiatric living will, and if she could find some information on some, you know, mental institutions and how long you can be put in, whatever. And she was supposed to get back with me, but she never did. Maybe she forgot. But anyway, I'm asking Tranquility if she will post that psychiatric living will, because it's a benefit for everybody who has had any kind of in-house psychiatric, you know, none of your control. But, you know, they always try to make us seem like we're crazy. So, you know, the best way to get us off the street and keep our mouths closed is to put us away. So that has happened to me twice, and I believe attempted some more times, but because the situation that I was in kind of changed, they had to back off. So I'm not going to say that that's not going to happen again, but I would like to talk to Anna further about that, because that is something that I believe is very strongly in the community of being a TI. And that should be a big focus for us as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Because they use that against us. So that is something that we need to address.
All right.
And another thing, and I'll end it right here, is that the smart meters that are being put in your home, people have the option to opt out. And I know for a fact that that is what's causing severe radiation in my body, because I have documentation from a doctor that it is severe radiation in my body. So, and I do have that letter. We don't have to try to read it, I guess, this week, but maybe next week if we have time. If you'll let me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But my is for the TI community and targeted justice to help me try to form a letter to somebody somewhere to try to save my house. The city of Winston-Salem is not going to do it because they want my house. And very definitively, a community and development director told me that they were coming for my house. Now, I will say this real quick, and I'm going to let you go. I live in a black historical neighborhood. There is getting ready to be a regentrification done over here. Millions of dollars are going to be pumped into my neighborhood. So they want me out of this house. I believe the best way to get me out is to knock it down, because they know that I'm not going to walk away. So my plea again is to the targeted community to help me in whatever way you think that you can. be it a letter or speaking on my behalf to whomever to save my house, because it is falling down bit by bit by bit. Okay? And I have pictures to prove it. So, and I'll leave you all with that. Bless you, and thank you for what you're doing for this community.
Thank you, Lauren. Bless you as well. All right. And we'll read the smart meter letter next week. I'll mention about the house, and we'll do a series. We'll do a session on psychiatrists and labeling. All right. All right. So thank you for that. All right. Okay. And we have 3 more questions. Boom, boom, boom. Please, let's go. I'm trying to get people got to go to. Some folks got to go to work, y'all. Okay. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. This is Justin from Arizona. I just want to ask a question on the video that you played earlier. Where can we find that video? Is it on Targeted website?
Oh, okay, the video. We only played one video. So that video, we will put it on tievents.org. It'll be in the post-jam notes. Okay, we'll put the link for it there.
Okay, sound good. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, that was nice and quick. 2 more. Let's go. Hi. Don't. Okay. Next caller, please. We can hear you.
Hi, GoGi. This is Saki from Atlanta. Quick question. Hi. I joined late. So I heard something about the current lawsuit and how the TIs can go on the website and look at it if it matches what they're going through, and they can use that as a template to present it to your lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Is all that this is all the information that is for future, right? After the outcome of the current case. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
And then
correct.
At that point, but the case details are already available, or it will be available on the website, what you mentioned?
The case is already on the website. And right now we're reading, we started a while ago reading plaintiffs. We're up to number 4. Next week we'll read number 5. So it's there and available. Yeah.
Okay, so to get there, go to Targeted Justice website and then go where?
I think you go to lawsuits and click under, and you should be able to see the motion that was filed January 11th, 2023.
Okay, and hopefully, Anna Toledo will win, and that the team will win. The 13, TIs on this. If they want in that event, once they win, the other TIs who want to pursue, now they need to go and find a lawyer who's going to be willing to take the case, and all that is up to them how to do it. No, is that what it is?
Right, but we believe once we win that the lawyers may be finding you. So you know how with the 9/11, once they said that that everybody was going to be compensated, that the fund was provided and everybody had to apply for it. You need a lawyer to apply for it, and you go and apply for it. And just like sometimes they say, oh, if you took Motrin and you have this and that wrong, then so there'll be some kind of corrective action or fund or something available. Or not. I'm not sure how it'll end up. That's what I think. Something will be set up because they know. I mean, once we win, then that's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Sure.
That's why some things take a little longer. So unfortunately, we have to suffer through in the meantime to preserve ourselves and do what we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one last clarification. The gentleman before me was talking about some video, which I missed. So it's going to be on the tievents.org under, you said under somewhere?
The post-jam
okay.
notes. So after each session, we write notes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, not today, but like maybe in the next couple of days?
Yeah, maybe
okay, and then
tomorrow.
Okay. What about this entire call? The recording of this call will also be there? What we are talking about right now and what happened before?
This call will be on YouTube. GoGi's After Dinner Jam. You're on YouTube.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Sakib. Okay, I think I have one more.
Hi, GoGi.
Hi.
Hi, this is Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. How are you, Lisa?
Okay, how are you, GoGi?
I'm okay.
Good. I'm just kind of like coming off of what Lauren had just spoke about. I wanted to know, is targeted justice on the board, do they have psychologists or anything like that on the board?
That's a good question. I was dealing with something like that today. So far on the board, I don't, we have medical doctors and this, that, and I don't think I saw a psychologist. I'm a licensed therapist, psychotherapist. I'm a psychotherapist and should have my license for mental health, but as far as a psychologist, no.
Because what I'm trying to, targeted justice, it's to me is such a good organization. If we could have more things lined up so that the targeted community can have letters, like in Lauren's situation where she may be forced into a mental institution, that the mental institutions will know that what is really happening, know the truth, because she's going to have to go in there and and try to fight the truth for herself. If there was, if there was more if targeted justice was to do more like a machine, make it more like a machine, because we know that no one is helping us. We don't have lawyers to help us. Lawyers are scared. We can make ourselves out of a machine if we can get psychologists on the board, to say and to be able to write letters and so that do you see what I'm saying? So that
I got it. Okay. Yeah. So there are psychologists and psychiatrists, and that's what I just said. We're going to have a show about it, that are around the community that are familiar with TIs, and they are able to do evaluations and assessments which would label us correctly, which might mean, taking off a schizophrenic label, especially for someone who has V2K, or, correcting labels and so forth, and making proper assessments. So I can look around and see who we have around the community and see if I can invite them to a show, and we have a show about that. Targeted Justice, for example, has a letter that you give to your doctor if you plan on having a procedure done so that they don't implant you. I can talk about having something for someone called me actually from the hospital today, and they were insisting that he had he wanted to know if he should have a mental evaluation, and I told him if you can avoid it, no, because he started talking about the program, and now they wanted to do a psych on him. But anyway, so yeah, when we do the session on that, we'll deal with it. Okay? And I just want to announce this before I forget, that there's a symposium on Friday, January 26th, with Anna Toledo, Richard Lighthouse, Dr. Anna, Dr. Anna M., Dr. Bear. All of them will be on there doing a symposium, and they're going to deal with a lot of very important issues. And that comes on this Friday. So look on TI Events or targetedjustice.com, and the information will be there. I'm sure a newsletter will go out. So make sure, we all tune into that, because there'll be some very important information there. But, Lisa, I hear what you're saying. And so we're going to have, at the J.A.M., we'll have a session on mental health issues for TI. Okay? All right. Is there a next caller? Oh, love to hear that sound. All right, we're done for the night. So, listen, if you didn't sign up for the rally, please sign up for the rally. The rally will take place when we get our day in court in New Orleans. And, again, January 26th is the day for the symposium. Please do watch, tune in. It's going to be an excellent panel. I named some of the people that I know, but there are other people that will be there, and they're going to deal with some very important issues. So make sure that you tune in, and you can check that out at targetedjustice.com or tievents.org, tievents.org. Don't forget to journal any details, any specific things that you think may be a part of your case when all is said and done. Be friends to other TIs, be friendly, be kind, and do your J.A.M. homework. I didn't give any J.A.M. homework today. We didn't deal with initiatives, but next week we'll be talking about shielding with Roger, and I will get into our initiatives. We have some strong initiatives going and some good things happening, so please keep positive, keep your chin up, be of good cheer, and preserve yourself, preserve your body and your mind. All right, your spirit, everything about you. All right, love you guys. All right, I'm going to open up for you all to say last-minute comments, and then we're going to. Thank you guys for being here tonight.
I didn't get to say anything. I was blocked out of the call.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, you make sure next week that you're the first one to speak, okay? I'm sorry.
This one's not doing that.
Amen.
Bless you. God bless you, GoGi. Thank you for everything, GoGi.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Good night.
GoGi, can you hear me? GoGi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. That's Taki.
I was going to mention, may not be a bad idea to add a tab on the Target Justice or TIevents.org for future, where once you guys win the lawsuit, and then all the lawyers will contact Anna Toledo, and she can put a listing of lawyers in there. If any TI wants a lawyer, these are lawyers who are looking for Target Justice TI cases. So TIs can go there to this website and get dozens of lawyers and pick one, talk to them, and pick one on their discretion.
Okay, I'll mention it.
Right, Peter.
Hi, Peter. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining the J.A.M. Thank you for being here tonight. A pleasure as always.
Thank you.
God
bless you all.
God bless, Twinnie.
God bless you.
Thank
you. My pleasure.
God bless.
Bye. Thank you for being here.
Good night,
everybody.
Safe. God bless
Remain
you all.
Safe.
Peter.
Good night, Willie.
Right, Peter.
GoGi, bye. Good
oh,
night.
yes, we're writing. Sir, we're writing Peter. Thank you. And let me say next week I'll tell you what Peter said. Thank you. We are writing. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that.
God bless.
My pleasure.
Thank you,
God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.